M is for Mason.
G is for Graham.
B for Betcha.
This is the Mgb Wrestling Podcast, the podcast with PG-rated material accessible to wrestling fans of all ages.
My name is Graham Bagshaw, and my co-host and creator of this podcast is proof that wrestling fans live with their parents. My 10-year-old son, Mason. Alright, it's just me and you this week, Mason, so we're not going to do the cold opening like we did last week. Well, that's kind of fun though, anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get straight into it. We've got a busy week, so let's get straight into Raw.
Mgb.
So it was highlights from Raw in Seattle, so go ahead, give us your first moment.
My third? Start with
First moment. Yeah, third moment even, yeah.
Okay, I'll start with my third. So Corbin, he makes Dean fight Braun Strowman, and Roman fight Dolph, and Drew fight Seth. I think there's a little make Shield do all the work kind of stuff.
Well, the other group had to fight as well.
I know,
it's not like both teams had to fight.
The thing is,
He didn't actually make him. He actually gave Dean a choice.
Yes.
And
right.
Dean chose not to fight
Anybody.
his Shield members, so then they set up a different match. So.
Yeah, but he forced him to fight Braun.
I didn't have a problem with that.
I did.
Okay, I
He's
like that.
always making matches. Like,
He's the general manager.
I
That's
know,
what his
but
job is. He's supposed
he
to do
makes
that.
unfair matches. Like, he gets a title match against Braun. I mean,
It was non-title.
No.
He said it was non-title.
Before, he got a match for the Universal title against Roman.
He did, yeah. But the matches on Monday were
I know,
non-title. Oh,
but
okay.
Roman wanted it to be title match.
Okay.
And then he said, no, it's not.
So what's the problem?
It's non-title.
I don't see where the problem
That
is.
he takes too much over the show just for himself. He's keeping the title on Roman so he can fight Roman.
I don't think he's already been told by Stephanie, you need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Last week, so I don't think he's doing it for that reason. I think with the pay-per-views coming up, they've got to make sure. They've already announced that he's going to be fighting as the champion against Brock Lesnar and against Braun Strowman, so he has to keep the title right now. I don't know why they set those stories so far in advance, because it kind of tells you what's going to happen. If he has a title match, you know he's going to win. So I don't really understand why they're doing that either. But no, I had no problem with being their own title match. They're just playing against each other. And it'll be a different match, obviously, on Saturday when it's in Australia.
I'm guessing Dean versus Seth for the Intercontinental.
Okay. So why did he turn it down then on Monday?
So he could go on a pay-per-view and do it.
So he's on a bigger stage? All right, sure.
Yeah, because they don't want to make him turn on a random Raw. Because some people only watch the pay-per-views.
I used to like it when they used to lose titles on Raw and SmackDown because it kept you watching more. I do like it when they do that. I don't like it when they only do it on pay-per-views. I think they do need to mix it up a little bit.
Like, AJ's been having his title for a long time.
All right, we just talked about this a second ago because it was SmackDown 998. So SmackDown 1000 is coming up. So that's not just a random house show, but it is just an episode of SmackDown. Any title changes there, do you think?
I don't really even know the matches. I know Evolution.
Well, think who the champions are. They haven't announced the matches, but think who the champions are. So is Becky gonna still be champion, or if Charlotte beats her, will Charlotte retain?
Oh, this is hard. I think Charlotte might actually. I think Ric Flair might actually interfere in this one now.
Because we know he's actually going to be there on this one. Matt would be so annoyed if that actually happened. If your prediction finally came true.
Charlotte could win and then he comes out with her and celebrates.
He could.
I think he's going to do something with Charlotte and Evelyn.
Now, I'm trying to remember where I heard it. He was actually involved in a promo at the weekend. He was actually at a football match. Apparently his daughter runs track for the national champion college team or whatever they call them. And he was there on the football field because I guess they were announcing him and he was there doing a woo. And so he is heavily involved. So we know he's back to health. And obviously if he's going to be part of Evolution, he must be back to health now. So that was one of Matt's big problems before. He'd just come back after nearly dying. And he was like, we didn't say he had to do anything massive. He just had to be a distraction. So I didn't think it made any difference. All right, let's get to your second moment anyway.
Okay, my second moment is Undertaker and Kane take out Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
I thought they were supposed to be keeping Undertaker special.
I said that as well. I'm kind of surprised by the way they're doing it.
5 weeks in a row.
They had. I much preferred it, and I said afterwards I wasn't happy when he didn't respond to John Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But having seen what they've been doing with this, I'm actually happy they did do that. But anyway, I liked it when they kept him a little more. Although every time I hear his music, it's still cool.
Yeah.
And when we hear it at SmackDown 1000, it's still going to be. Can you imagine if he got injured at the weekend, how bad that would be? I'm hoping that's not going to happen, but hearing that music is really cool. I still like that. I still don't like, actually, part of that match. I don't like Kane's involved in it, and I don't really like Shawn Michaels being involved either. I know they're trying to possibly set up a match with Shawn Michaels at the next pay-per-view or something. I'm not a big fan of that right now. I'd rather they just left it as Triple H and Undertaker, but anyway.
I kind of want it to be like WrestleMania 28.
Okay.
It was Shawn, Triple H, and Undertaker. That was really cool. I don't know how Kane. Yeah.
Well, Kane's supposedly his brother, so they got to balance it out. They want a handicap match.
The thing I loved in Raw was how in sync Kane and Undertaker were.
Yeah, I thought the opposite.
When they were walking away, they turned at the same time. They raised their hand at the same time, which is really cool.
And I thought that when they did the power slams to both of them, that was out of sync though. That would have been so much better if they landed at the same time. And I was like, they're not quite on the same page right now.
I think it's better when it's a couple seconds out. So you can look at one and then look at the other. I
like the visual effect of them landing at the same time. It's more choreographed. But all right, what was your number one moment then from Raw?
My number one moment is Elias. He's on his chair singing, "Who wants to walk with Elias?" And then Kevin Owens raises his hand, which is really funny. Usually nobody says anything, and then it's the first time somebody actually raises their hand that says, "Who wants to walk with Elias?"
I like Elias and Kevin Owens. I actually thought about this. I think I don't like Kevin Owens, but then when I thought about when he was with Sami Zayn, that was okay. I wasn't a big fan. But when he was with Jericho for a long time, I liked that as well. I thought that was really good. But no, Elias and Kevin Owens, I think, go together perfectly as two heels, but people who are popular as heels. When we first started watching, I didn't get that. I was like, how is everyone cheering Kevin Owens? He's like a heel. But I like that dynamic anyway.
It should be like Kevin Owens or Elias with Alexa Bliss for the Tag Team Challenge.
Well, Alexa's injured.
I know,
because she was supposed to be with Braun. But
she's kind of like the same people, like
Oh, Matt reminded us of something as well, which I totally forgot about. We talked a few weeks ago. We were supposed to be reviewing the Facebook Mixed Match Challenge. Already episode 3's out, and we haven't even watched a single one. So either this weekend we've got to start catching up and doing a special one, or we put it on the back burner. I don't know. We've been busy.
I didn't even know it started.
And I'd forgotten. Well, I've been so busy. Now, on the positive side, I keep talking about how busy I'm going to be. Yesterday, I actually dropped out of my 45-hour course in the next 2 weeks. Next 2 months. So I only did an hour and then I left. And because they announced that suddenly it was a 90-hour course and there was an additional 45 hours of work to do, and I was like, I can't do that. I was like, I have too much as it is anyway. 45 was a lot. So we do have some extra time. I'm not going to be out as much as I thought I was going to be. All right, I got some quotes for you, Mason. So let's see what you make of these. You're being used. They need you more than you need them. Who is talking about who?
Somebody is talking to. Oh, this is hard. Seth could be talking to Drew, and Dolph could be talking to Dean.
All right, well, you're in the right ballpark, and you're right. They were both talking about each other. It was Braun, and he said it last week about Dean. But they sort of mentioned it at the start again, and they were playing that part up. All right, this one made me laugh. I don't know. I should be laughing at this. Who was described as the world's largest substitute teacher?
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. I thought that was funny.
I don't get it.
I thought about it after. I was like, it doesn't really make sense, but it was just like, I just laughed because it sounded so silly, and I could sort of see it there. He's there trying to be all authoritative, but he's not really in charge. He's only the acting general manager. But it's glad that I'm laughing at that. All right. What about this? You make it feel good, come home again. I thought that was a tough one.
AJ said that to.
No, we're on Raw. We're not on SmackDown yet.
But
I like how you were thinking.
Where was it?
It was in Seattle. It was at Raw. It was the episode you watched yesterday.
I know, but I didn't know where it was.
I don't think he literally means in Seattle. I think it just means home as in WWE.
WWE. Who came? Oh, Randy.
Nope, it was somebody who had been away for 8 years. It was Shawn Michaels.
Oh.
All right, now I saved this one for the end. I thought this was brilliant at the time. I re-listened to this, and it's even better when I heard it for a second time. It doesn't make sense, It's like having a basketball team in Seattle.
Okay, so Elias said that because I asked you, how was that funny?
And they used to have the Seattle Supersonics, and they left. I watched the whole clip again because we only saw the highlights of it because we didn't have time to watch the whole Hulu thing because you got back late. They were booing continuously for like 30 seconds. I've never heard boos like that continuous. It was like, boo! And I heard some people said, if they do clips of Elias in 10 years, that will definitely be one of the clips. And I thought that was one of his best lines that he's ever done. I really like that one.
I like when he said in wherever Apollo 18 was. Where's that? Texas somewhere?
I don't know.
Well, he was there, and then he said the only reason they went into Rocket because this place stinks.
He has some good lines. And I don't know if people write that for him, because I know there is a lot of things that are scripted, or if he does it himself. I know he writes his own
I wonder
songs.
how he remembers it.
I don't know. Well,
I guess it's like talking on the mic.
They practice. When it's something like that, you're not going to forget a line like that. That's like a joke. You'd remember that. It's like a comedian. They have to learn like a set. They have a lot more to learn. If you're a comedian, you got to remember like an hour's worth of material. They only have to remember like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm sure. Remember, they can practice all week on that as well.
Mgb.
Round 2. Are you smarter than a 4-year-old? You coming back a little bit now. It's 5.5 to 2.5, I believe, and you got the last point. Okay. Mm-hmm. With it being it's not really a pay-per-view. I don't know what they're calling it, a special show or whatever they're calling it. In Australia this week, I thought we'd take Australia as the theme. Now, I'm kind of regretting this. I wrote the quiz, and then when I came home, I was like, I wish I'd have done this instead. You guys are doing Panini football stickers right now, or soccer stickers for Americans so they don't get confused. Yeah. I should have picked Australian wrestler or Australian Panini sticker, because you're doing the Australia team. And I know you guys really look at those pages as well to see if you've been paying attention. Yeah. Too late, I'd already written the quiz. So what it actually is then, it's Australian wrestlers.
You could do that for Saudi Arabia.
I could, but then you start studying ahead of time, so we're not doing that now either. Or the 2018 Australian Rugby League team, whose nickname is the Wallabies. So it's either wrestler or it's rugby player, okay? Jackson's already done it because he did it before he went out, okay? All right, number 1. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, number 1, Earl Black.
Rugby.
Okay. Fred Berger.
Burger sounds like a wrestling person that would name themselves Burger, but I don't know why you'd call yourself Burger. And I don't know what last names Australian people might have Burger. They don't have burgers in Australia, do they?
You can get burgers.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking like hamburgers or the name burger? The name burger is normally more... I'm trying to think where that's from. I'm trying to think where Patrick Berger used to come from, the Liverpool player. It's European, certainly. I want to say Germany. But
okay, I'm going rugby.
Sure. You're going rugby for that one? All right. Next one. Adam Coleman. Baby. It's not. It's just Adam Coleman, but I couldn't resist that one. When I saw that, I was like, that sounds like just like Adam Cole. Adam Coleman.
Isn't there there's a New Japan wrestler called Caprice Coleman.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm going wrestler.
You're going wrestler? Okay. All right, number 4, Angus Cottrell.
That sounds totally random. So I'm going rugby.
Okay. Number 5, Dean Draven.
I've won too many rugby, so I gotta go wrestler.
All right. I always like ones when it features one of our names. So number 6, Paul Graham.
Oh, Paul Tully. And you.
Oh, I guess so. I didn't even think about that. I guess
I gotta go wrestler for that.
You gotta go wrestler for that? All right. Next one, Isaac Rodder.
Exact. Oh, Roderick Strong. Rugby.
Okay. And Scott Sio. I think it's Sio. S-I-O. It might be Scott Sio. I'm not sure.
Scott Steiner's brother is a rugby player. No. I went too many rugby. I'm going wrestler.
So you going? Which one are you going for? You going wrestler on the last one? All right. So let's go through the list then. Earl Black was a wrestler.
No.
Fred Berger was a wrestler.
No.
Adam Coleman was a rugby player. So you did not have a good start. Angus Cottrell was a rugby player. Dean Draven is a wrestler. Paul Graham is a wrestler. Isaac Rodder is a rugby player. And at that point, you were 4 out of 7.
Oh, Jackson.
And you picked Scott Sio on the last one, and you picked the correct answer, and then you changed it to the incorrect answer. He is actually a rugby player. So your final score is 4 out of 8, and we will play Jackson's clip. All right, Jackson. So it's either going to be wrestler or rugby player, okay? All right, number 1, Earl Black.
Rugby.
Okay, number 2, Fred Berger.
Wrestler.
Okay. Adam Coleman, baby.
Nope.
No, it's just Adam Coleman. Wrestler or rugby player?
Rugby.
Okay. Angus Cottrell.
Wrestler.
Dean Draven.
Wrestler.
Paul Graham.
Wrestler.
Isaac Rodder.
Football.
You mean rugby? Okay. Scott Seo.
Wrestler.
All right, buddy. You got 5 out of 8.
Oh, so Jackson managed to get 5 out of 8. Therefore, that last question was crucial. You could have got a tie, but you actually changed your answer. So, current total, Jackson 6.5. No, you lost. Jackson 6.5. Mason 2.5. All right, that was a good one. That was an exciting one. Some of those names were really weird. I like that Adam Coleman, though. I thought that was good.
Mgb.
All right, let's move on to SmackDown then. So, I think this was from Portland, Oregon, if I remember correctly. So,
Cortland, yes.
Yeah, all right.
That's where Mick Foley was born. But
Oh, it was?
no, it was Cortland, New York.
I was gonna say, I don't think he's from Oregon.
He goes to he said that he and his dad used to go to the New York Mets game.
Yes.
And one time his dad hates asking for directions.
Uh-huh.
So one time he was going to a Mets game and his dad was crying when he had to ask somebody for the directions.
Uh-huh.
And his dad always likes to leave at the 7th inning to beat traffic.
Uh-huh.
They got there at the 7th inning and then they just went, they
I'm
didn't even.
bad at that as well. I like getting there early for games.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch batting practice
So,
than leaving the 7th.
I know it's Cortland because yeah, and he wrestles at. He was his trainer. I can't remember his name. Danuki.
Okay.
And it was in Pittsburgh, and he drives about 16 hours to get to there.
Uh-huh.
So it has to be Cortland, New York.
Uh-huh. I
Because
knew it was New
Portland,
York, but I
Oregon,
couldn't remember.
you can't even drive across the U.S.
I did?
No, in 16 hours.
Oh, not in 16
There and
hours.
back.
No chance.
There and back. And
No, it took me days. I think it took me 5 days to get across. And even
Oh.
that was ridiculously short time because I was trying to make it. I realized, if I put some speed on, I can make it in time to go see the Seattle Mariners, which was kind of an important one for me. I was like, I might as well see it while I'm up there. So I went to see that. But yeah, no, it was like, so I did like 600 miles a day for a while. It was crazy how much I driving I did. All right, let's move on to SmackDown anyway. Go ahead. Give me your number 3 moment.
she said, Aiden, I have something important to tell you. I want you.
It was, I got the
So-
exact quote here, and I didn't like this moment at all. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I think it's important I say it out loud. I want you, and then they cut it straight off.
Yeah.
Now, that could have been anything. I want you to come out to the ring with Rusev instead of me. It could have been anything. I don't like that. The way they cut it is I want you to make you think it's English. It could be absolutely anything. I'm sure it's to build the story. I thought it was absolutely terrible. It was
I
not what we expected
think-
at all.
Lana's going to come back with her footage and say, I want you.
Well, I don't know how she would have
Dot,
footage.
dot, dot.
She had the He had the camera because he was practicing his singing and everything. So that was like his phone
steal
or
his
whatever.
phone, come out and show Rusev the real video.
Oh,
I
okay.
want you to stop going out with Rusev.
Stop, but I think it'd be something like that as well. Yeah, no, I didn't like how they set it up. I wasn't convinced by it.
That fits perfectly with what Lana said. You're holding, somebody's holding you back.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the way he set it up was not convincing at all. Everyone was buying it. I was like, I don't buy this for a second. Why would you cut it short at that point? You don't stop somebody mid-sentence. And that clearly wasn't just, I want you. It was, I want you. And it carried, you could tell the sentence was going to carry on. So, no, I didn't like that at all. All right. Number 2 moment.
Number 2 moment is Becky has Super Showdown sign,
Huh?
and it's her like raising her belt, and she has her foot on Charlotte on the floor, which I doubt that that's actually the real sign.
No, it's not. So that tells me then you don't know the story of the real sign. Becky Lynch is not on the real sign.
She isn't?
No, there's pictures of other female wrestlers on there, and Becky's not on there. So not surprisingly,
What?
she's not
the
happy.
champ.
Exactly. So she's not happy. And that Charlotte Flair had a photo shoot last week, which she interfered with. Same thing. Why is Becky not getting on? You can see why Becky'd be annoyed by that. You just said she's the champion.
She's not even getting on the picture. So I thought all those stories actually linked together pretty well.
I think they might have done that on purpose.
Oh, I'm sure they did, but I thought it worked really effectively as a storyline. I just wish that Charlotte could have thrown her a little more into the side. I wanted to see that easel collapse as
I
well.
want to see it break.
Yeah, I was looking for that as well. She did a good throw, but I was looking for a little bit more. All right, number one moment. What you got for us?
My number one moment is, so you know how Jake Parnell got ripped in the mouth with the turnbuckle?
Yes.
Orton, he put Ty Dillinger's finger in the turnbuckle.
Yes, he did.
Which didn't look that bad to me, but and he bent it like Pete Dunne, which I don't see what's so bad with it.
I hated it.
I think he might have twisted his finger, so.
You know that I hate things with fingers like that.
And the thing was, he didn't even bend it back.
It looked like he did to me. I couldn't stand it.
Well,
I
he had his hands cupped.
But I didn't want to watch it.
So he could bend it like a tiny, tiny bit, so it looks like it's bending super far back because he had his hands cupped.
It sold it to me. I gotta say, the ear thing with Jeff Hardy didn't bother me one tiny little bit. That really bothered me. Now, I actually have the quote from the commentary. It was like, oh, no. There was like repeated no's for this one. I didn't like it. As soon as I saw it this morning, I was like, oh my goodness. And somebody actually texted me a warning to like, be careful when you watch the Randy Orton bit, because they know that I don't like fingers being bent back. I got a little warning for that one.
I don't know if there's Jackson at the dinner table, he bending his fingers back.
Oh, no, I do not like that at all. No, I can't stand that at all. All right, so that was your number one moment then? All right, let's see what I got on quotes for this. Now, actually, I wanted to get involved for this. I was like, well, I'm not doing this with Matt this week on Good Cop, Bad Cop. We're actually going to review just the Australian Showdown thing. I actually started to write some things down for this as well. I love the finisher by Carmella. R-Truth and Carmella, I love that team. That Code of Silence looks absolutely amazing. Does she normally do that? Have I just missed that? Is that a new finisher?
No, it's not.
It's not a new one?
No,
okay.
So I tell you how I know. So that video game that I've been playing, Ken Dixon, I called Brian Kendricks. I have that. I have her, and she and her, like, they have the finishers. I have the finishers on the card, and her finisher is Code of Silence.
Oh.
So that game was made in 2016.
She's probably won a lot on cheap shots and recently, or people interfering or distractions.
Oh, like when she pushed Asuka into the cage.
Yeah, so we've just not seen a lot of recent. It looked really good. And it looked painful. Some of those finishes, I'm like, I don't think so. That doesn't do anything at all. Okay. That actually looked like it really hurt.
Yeah, about Asuka too. She has her streak. That's the only reason she's getting a push, because her streak. Now she's just gone down.
Yeah, I know.
She had to face Peyton Royce, which Charlotte's never going to face Peyton Royce. She was like Charlotte.
Oh, they did. They did recently. Because they were beating up on them. They're going to make her look bad.
Well.
So I don't know. It's kind of interesting they're pairing up with Naomi. Like, are they giving like a tag team push? Now, there is talk of that tag team title for women. So that might be a cool one for her if she was like the first women's tag team title. There's always that prestige of being the first one, but I don't know. I don't really see that pairing with her and Naomi right now. It seems a lot. Oh, I just thought of something. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Naomi's there. What's happened to the Usos? I haven't seen them in weeks. Did they get injured?
No, because on the show I saw, after the show it would say, whatchamacallit, Rusev and Lana versus Jimmy Uso and Naomi.
Okay. And I must have missed that part then. All right.
It was on the bottom.
My second moment I've gone with, I hate the New Day and I hate the Bar. So when those two are together, I hate it. However, I actually like this one. I like the Bar coming in and destroying the New Day's cooking section. I was like, oh my gosh, they're cooking in the ring. I was like, this is a dumb segment. I do not like this. And I actually like the fact they got in there and just messed it up. I like the guy who got his hat filled with the pancake batter and put over his head.
I like
and
the flour.
Down. The flour was cool as well. Then he threw the flour into his face. The thing I thought that was strange for all that is they did that in the middle. They would have to clean all that up before you could do the next match. Now, all that spillage on the side, that could be slippy. I assume what they do is they have two covers. I assume what they do is they take it up and fold it all up.
So the house show we went to, they just did that.
And then it's sort of ready. But the outside, all that flour would still have to be cleaned up. I thought that was kind of surprising they did that. But I thought that was kind of cool. And my number one, it's not a moment, but it's the thing that's going to stick with me probably for the longest. Ty Dillinger's finger.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw what he was going to do, and I thought the same thing as you, and we didn't talk about this at all, because you watched this literally just before we started to record, and I watched it this morning. I was like, Jake Paul. It totally reminded that of getting the turnbuckle in his mouth and then a ripping. And when I saw his finger in there, and I was like, I know what's coming right now straight away. And I just,
I wonder if he got a cut.
I don't know. The thing I don't understand with this right now is, though, Randy is supposed to be the destroyer of legends.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Dillinger's not a legend.
No.
Ty Dillinger barely appears. I don't know quite what's going on with that. I think it's weird.
Oh.
He just said he picked him because he was annoying him last week, basically.
Randy Orton's in Evolution.
He is.
So he might turn on them. He's not.
I don't
He
know.
already did turn on them.
I don't see why they did. I think they want to bring them all out together.
He was already fighting Rick and Batista, so he already kind of turned on the Evolution. So I don't really like that.
All right. I got some quotes for you as well, but I wanted to get some of my moments in, particularly that Carmella thing, because I thought it was really cool. All right, here's my statement. I've been sitting on the bench every week, waiting for an opportunity to remind the world who the heck I am. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Who was that? No, it wasn't actually. And I know you didn't see this clip on yours, which makes it a little bit more difficult. It was Shelton Benjamin. It's because he got a match with Daniel Bryan this week. Mm-hmm. The Miz tried to antagonize him to get him fired up. Yeah. Miz came up with a great line. He kept saying, I want you to do this to Daniel Bryan. I want you to do this to Daniel Bryan. His last one was, I want you to rip Daniel Bryan's beard off and make him eat it. I thought that was hilarious. I couldn't put that in as the quote because it would be the Miz, because who hates Daniel Bryan as much as that? Oh, also, and we didn't see it on your clip, and I didn't see it on my clip either, there was a botch in this match as well. So we know Brie Bella had a botch in her match, and Daniel Bryan went onto the top row, lifted his arms up, went to do the dive to the top row. Benjamin moved a little bit, and as they landed, they clashed heads. Oh. There was a serious bang of heads. I saw that on Twitter while you were watching the video. I was like, I didn't see that on my part, because I had to watch some of the highlights as well. So that was kind of an interesting one. All right, another quote for you. You're not coming back from the land down under. Who made that promise? And I think you did see that one.
Oh, I did.
Could be anybody, because it's obviously referring to the match in Australia.
Say that again?
You're not coming back from the land down under. So basically, you're not coming back from Australia. I'm going to finish you in Australia.
Becky said that to Charlotte.
No, it was AJ's threat to Samoa Joe. He stayed at home because he wanted to look after his family. He didn't want to get emotional. And I think that was about it. Hold on, what's this last one I'm looking for here?
Uh-oh.
We already did that one. That was the Lana one, and I also had the Ty Dillinger one. No. This is absolutely sickening. But you already picked that one, your moments. So I think that'll do it. This is coming out on Friday. I want to promote Good Cop, Bad Cop, episode 10. So that should be coming out on Sunday. I also told now the Visionaries Wrestling Network, we got an extra place, Mason. Not that I can remember anyway. iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud,
Stitcher,
Podknife. I think Stitcher's the new one, actually. Stitcher's the new one. Stitcher's the one we didn't have.
It never went on
there. Was
there.
Two that began with S. SoundCloud and Spotify, wasn't it? Yeah. And Stitcher's the new one then that begins with S. But I think there's another one as well. I don't know. If you're listening to this anyway, it doesn't really make any difference. If you're checking our Twitter feed, then you can find a new one as well. But there is a new way you can listen to us if you prefer. Okay. All right. I think that does it for us. And yep, we'll see you next week.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
The music was ZigZag by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0, http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/.
Awesome!
This is your main man RJ from the Ringside Rant, heard only on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. So go over and subscribe across all your major platforms, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher to hear every great interview I have every Monday on the Visionaries Wrestling Network.
This is Matt Willis from the Matt Attack podcast on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. You are listening currently to the Mgb Wrestling Podcast. Once you go to finish listening to Mason, Graham, and probably Jackson at some point, why don't you pop across to the Matt Attack podcast soon and catch up a few of our episodes. We've got World of Sport reviews, we've got predictions for pay-per-views, and then you can always pop across to the Good Cop, Bad Cop Wrestling podcast, which Graham here hosts.